get the music going here. We're going to start with the feet right under the hips, toes pointing forward. Gently squeeze your belly to your spine. Tuck the hips. We fan up, deep inhale. Exhale. And that music is a little staticky, so I'm going to fix it. That's the glory of technology and live streaming. Continue. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, deep inhale. Hold your arms up, interlock your fingers, flip your palms, press up high. Feel your body elongating. Press the palms one at a time toward the sky. Good. And then just hold, gazing forward. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the arms behind the back. Interlace the fingers. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Straighten the arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades around the chest. Look up. And release. We'll do both again. Deep inhale. Interlock your fingers. Flip your palms. Press up. Alternate sides, pressing the heel of the palm up toward the sky and hold. Exhale, hands behind the back. Straighten your arms, squeeze your shoulder blades around the spine. Broaden through the shoulders, gaze up. And release. Let's bring hands to hip and begin neck circles here. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and reverse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and pause. Let's begin arm circles. So if we're talking about tight hips and tight back, why would we be doing all of this? It's because your body is a whole kinetic chain. And so every part of it affects the other parts. They're interrelated, interdependent. And forward, but don't worry, we'll focus on the lower back and tight hips soon. Maybe 2 more rotations. Good, and pause. Let's bring the feet wider than the hips. Put your toes forward, hands come to hips, and we'll begin hip circles. Now, push the hips to the back of the room. When you come forward, shift the weight to the front of your toes. When you shift the hips back, let your weight go into your heels. Let's do a few more of these. Here's 4. So you may feel a hamstring stretch as you lean over and a hip flexor stretch as you move back and reverse. Just try to enjoy the movement. Feel your body coming into an awareness of what it takes to move freely. And let's reverse. Let's continue here. These are really good to do every morning and every night. And reverse. Good. One more. And then come with your feet under your hips once again. We're going to take some side bends. Feet under the hips, toes pointing forward. And let's reach to the right side and the left. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's continue by bringing the feet outside the hips again, and the same thing, side bends. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now let's just bend the knees and straighten them a few times because we're going to go into a squat position. So in the squat position, point your toes forward, send your hips back. Make sure your knees are not coming over your toes. You should see your toes here. We're going to cat and cow the spine. It looks like this. Arch the back, gaze up. Round the spine, tuck the hips. Continue. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. We're going to widen the feet a little bit more if you feel comfortable and take a wide leg forward fold. So slowly squeeze your belly to your spine. Inhale, exhale, send the hips to the back of the room. Try for a flat back. And whenever you feel your point of resistance, the tension in the muscle, release your hands down and hold. So if your lower back is bothering you in this position, you may choose to put your hands on your thighs and elongate your spine for support. You may also choose to hold on to a table. That would add a shoulder stretch there, or the back of a chair. Now, keep your hands right where they are and just bend your knees and straighten your legs. Bend your knees and straighten your legs. Let's do that a few more times. Here's 4, 3, 2. We're choosing to be easy with the body and holding your forward fold. Walk your hands to the right. So right now we're stretching our hamstrings, and your hamstrings are connected to the back of your body, your glutes, and walk your hands to the left. And so we want to make sure we have it all stretched out. And come back to center. You're going to bend your knees one final time and roll up one vertebra at a time. Good. Bring your feet under your hips now. And we're going to take knee circles. So lift one foot off the mat and just circle your leg for 8 outward circles. 7, 6, 5, 4. You should feel this hip really responding. Whatever that response is, we honor it. You might feel some cracking and put your feet down, popping, a little bit of heat. Let's do the other side. Long as there's no sharp pain, right? Good. Let's do about 4 more. We're also practicing balance here. That's not the focus, but that is part of it. Maybe 2 more. 1 more and release. All right, so let's come down to the mat now. I think we're ready for that. Sometimes we have to prepare the body for this cross-leg position. If your hips feel too tight, you can grab a pillow or blanket. I have my yoga bolster here. You could sit on that if needed. So here you may feel the hips feeling tight. Mine are definitely tight. So let's place hands to knees and just rotate the torso. Taking your time to allow yourself to experience all aspects of this rotation. So as you come forward, you may feel that in your glutes. Here's 4, 3, your glutes are this area of your hips, and 1. And then reverse. 3, 2, maybe 1 more. If you need more, then feel free to stay here. Now we'll release the legs and change the cross of them. We're going to do the same thing, hands to knees as we rotate. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. You may choose to linger as you forward fold a bit. Here's 4, 3. This will also help your lower back. 2, let's not forget that. Release some tightness. 1 more. Good. And come back upright. We'll come back here toward the end of this session. But for now, let's bend your knees, plant your feet. Have your feet about as wide as your hips or a little wider. Place your palms behind you in a comfortable space. Chest is proud, arms are straight. We have firm support. We're just going to rock the knees side to side at your own pace. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause right here. You could just stay right here and enjoy the chest opening, wrapping your shoulder blades around the spine. Or you could lift the hips into reverse tabletop, squeeze the glutes. Now you're going to feel that stretch across the top of the body and your hip flexors, the front of the thigh, and release. And we'll make our way down to the mat now. Just roll down 1 vertebra at a time. And I'll scoot back a little bit. Elongate your legs, straighten them on the mat. Reach your arms overhead, arch your lower back off the mat. Feel the body elongating, the spine decompressing. Here's 4, 3, 2. Now we'll take both knees toward the chest. So this one is really good for the lower back. You could choose to keep your knees right there. Maybe that's stretch enough. Or you can take your hands on the front of your knees and squeeze your knees towards your chest. Squeeze and release. You also have the option here to rock side to side. Whatever feels good. You could also roll your knees in circles. If you take your time and really pay attention to your body, this stretch could be a beautiful staple every day for lower back care. And reverse. So for me, I have had a herniated disc in my back for many years, and also some degeneration there, right? And so lower back care is really important to me to remain pain-free or in as little pain as possible. And let's hold static. Wrap your hand around the front of your lower leg and just hold tight. And even though you're squeezing, you still got your shoulders relaxed. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll take butterfly legs next. Allow your big toes to touch, your knees to flare open. Wrap your hands around your shin, the front of your lower leg, or your ankle. And just breathe here. You may use your elbows to press the thighs away from one another. That's an option. Breathing for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's alternate between squeezing the knees to the chest and butterfly legs at your own pace. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze your knees together, drop your feet. We're coming into what we call a figure 4. So just readjust yourself if you need to for comfort. Make sure your lower back is pressing into the mat. Take your left ankle over your right knee and pause for a moment. Use your hands to just press the thigh away from the hip. And you may feel some elongation in the lower abdominals and the lower back area. Here's 4, 3, and also the side body. 2 and 1. Go ahead and release your hands alongside of your body. Lift your right foot in the air. And again, this might be enough stretch for your hip. If it isn't, bring your hands behind your right thigh and squeeze the legs toward your chest. And as you stay right here, I'm just going to turn that music down because the static is interesting. All right. We're going to hold for a few more breaths here. Maybe here you roll your ankles. I don't know if you know it, but ankle and foot issues can also affect your back. And so this is another reason to add another body part here, just circling and reversing. And when you're ready, hold static, release your right foot to the mat, release the left foot. And if you need to rock side to side a little bit, you can. Maybe from all of the hip flexion, the bending, you may also desire a bridge here for a moment and release. Let's switch sides. Right ankle, left knee. Use your hands to press the thigh away from the hip area, creating traction here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your hands. Lift your left foot. We're in figure 4 now. Decide where you want your hands to be and hold. Maybe choosing to roll the ankles again and reverse. Good, and we'll just hold static here, breathing, trying to relax into this moment. Deep inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, drop your left foot to the mat, release your right foot. Let's straighten the legs on the mat and go back to this, what we call good morning stretch. Reach your arms overhead, arch your lower back off the mat. Good. And we'll go into our final stretch for this session. You'll release your arms out in a T shape. Bend your knees, plant your feet. Bring your knees together, they touch. Keep your shoulders flat on the mat. So I have my hands more of in an A shape because my sofa is in the way, and that's acceptable. But a T shape would be right in alignment with your shoulder. When you're ready, drop your knees to the right side while pressing your shoulders down into the mat. Gaze to the left. I often like to press down on my outer thigh to assist the stretch as I'm pressing my shoulder in the opposite direction. Remember, you never want any sharp pain, so if this is painful, release the stretch. On your next inhale, you can bring your knees to center, or you could stay there longer. It's up to you. And then drop your knees to the opposite side. Knees to the left, head to the right. For me, my dropping my knees to the left side is more challenging because of the spinal situation I told you about earlier. So I'm going to take it easy. A lot of times, one side is tighter or looser for various reasons, and we honor it. There's no pressure to look a particular way, right? And that may mean you want to spend some additional time on the tight side as well. When you're ready, we'll bring our knees back to center. And we'll end with butterfly legs here. So as your knees and feet are touching, you'll allow your knees to flare open. And this is where we'll have our final stretch. So your hands can be down alongside of you, it could be resting on your abdomen, could be on your heart if you're connecting some heart space meditations in your stretch. You could have them over your forehead, wherever you feel you need your own sense of wellness and attention. As you're here, you imagine your knees just relaxing, right? Come away from pushing or forcing or trying and move into allowing. Deep inhales. As you exhale, you allow more stretching, more release. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. With your hands, squeeze your knees back towards center. Take a moment. If you need to elongate once more before we come back to sitting, you can. And remember, you can do these stretches as many times a day as you need, but the recommendation is at least once a day, daily. How long? 15 minutes, 20 minutes. If you really want to go in, an hour. And honestly, anything is better than not doing anything at all. So we'll bend our knees, and you have some options in coming back up to seated position. You could take your knees to chest and rock yourself up, or roll onto your side and press yourself upright. And we'll meet again in the cross leg position. So here's where we started. So let's check to see if our hips are a little looser and lower back by returning to hip circles. 4. Notice how that feels. 3. That feels a lot better in my body. 2 and 1. And reverse for 4, 3, 2, and 1. I think I like it better without the music now. All right. And so we're done here. If you choose to, you can take an inhale with me. Fan the arms up. Exhale down. Just resetting the nervous system. That's the function of this breathing. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time, take a deep inhale. Seal the palms, bring them down to your heart center, and we are done. I hope you enjoyed our stretch together. And if you are interested in more, please consider subscribing to my channel, and we'll talk soon.